Yes, I definitely can hear you. Jenny, how are you? How are you today, my dear?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, thank you for coming for the podcast. You're prompt and on time as always, aren't you? You're such an organized individual.
Yes, I like to give that perception.
Well, well, it's not only a perception, it's a truth. I'll vouch for you because I also appreciate your time today because I know you're an extraordinarily busy individual, aren't you? So you've got to be organized when you're that busy.
Not a problem at all. It's in the diary, it's happening. We're here, it's lunchtime, and we're pushing backwards, so that's good.
Squeezing me in on a lunchtime. Just for interest of people who might be listening, and we can also plug your excellent LinkedIn profile. Tell people who you are and what you do, and if they want to see who you are, they can go follow you, can't they?
Yeah, of course. I'm a financial planner, so I help people look after their money, make sure that it's going to last them their lifetime. I tend to work with serious injury clients, so clients who have had some kind of injury, road traffic accident or other, where they've had a payout and that money then has to help them survive the rest of their lives. So I help them with that side of planning. But I also help private clients, things like inheritance tax planning or ISAs or pensions or divorce clients as well, helping them sort of sort their future out. But yeah, basically holding their hand through the minefield that is finance. So if you've got a question, even if it's just a question, give me a shout. I don't mind. I love it.
Yep, you are Jenny Whitehouse, name spelt as it sounds.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't even introduce myself. Yeah. That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, on LinkedIn you can be followed, can't you?
I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, we've got an event coming up next week, which is where I'm going to interview you.
Yes, me and you, aren't we? I'm interviewing you today. Next week, you're going to interview me on a Zoom
That's
call
right.
like this.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
public can attend, can't they, if people are
Yes,
listening?
anybody can. Anybody can. Yeah, it's a work thing because I've done it through work because it's good for my profile and to let people know at work what I've been up to. But and sort of professional connections, listers, etc. But it is. I want to do it anyway because I want to shout it from the rooftops. You know how this has worked and what's happened and how good you are and what other people could benefit and what they can get from it. So yeah, I do want to shout about it enough to sort of put myself out there. I think is the yeah, scary thing, but it's good.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you only have to share as much information as you feel comfortable with. It's entirely up to you. Um, we are here to talk about that though today, aren't we? We're here to talk about your weight loss journey, and it's an absolutely incredible story, isn't it? It's an amazing story. You're an absolute superstar.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been one heck of a ride, let's say. Um, but yeah, just I suppose to kind of for people that don't know me, I'm now 45, and I think for probably since I was 16, I've been overweight, and only in the last 2 years have I conquered it enough to get on top of it, completely on top of it. I've done bits and bats before and lost a stone here and a stone there and felt better for a little while, but it's always come back on. And only in the last 2 years, well, since January 19 is when I started, I've lost just over 7 stone, which is just, yeah, about £100.
100 pounds, isn't it? Oh my God, it's 100 pounds. It's an
Yeah.
absolute, it's incredible.
I tell you what, I just didn't think it was possible. I've tried so many times. That number has gone up. It used to be, I want to lose £60 and I'd get to that magic number. And then it was a few years
Mm.
later, it's only £70 until I get to that magic number in my head. But then it got to £100 and it just got so much. I just thought, you know what, I really, really need to do something about it. And it's not that I hadn't tried, I just didn't know how. I didn't know what the rules were. And I'm a person that, yeah, as you mentioned, is organized, professional world. And I have, procedures and I have things that I have to do in a certain way. And that's the way the job gets done. And this was in a very similar vein. These are the rules, these are the instructions, follow them and you'll get there. It's not a smooth ride, it's not a straight line, but you will if you trust in the system, trust in the procedure, trust in the consistency of trying it each day, then it will work, and it does. And it's just that change of shift has helped me, yeah, lose it. And it's, as I said, it's taken 2 years and it's stayed off now. It's stayed off a bit longer than about 6 months. It's been off now. But there is no way on earth that it's ever going back on, not the whole amount anyway, maybe a couple of pounds over Christmas, for example. But
That's
Yeah,
completely normal. Everybody does that.
yeah,
It's, I feel like it's a common misconception that people think that once they've achieved their goal or target weight, that the idea is that they should or will be able to just stay at an exact specific pound or stone or kilogram number. And I will say, just for everybody in the world, that is not the case and that is
yeah,
not real. I
yeah.
still go on holiday and eat too much. So do fitness professionals, so do fitness models, so do personal trainers, so does your dietitian, so does everyone. And at Christmas, you eat a bit too much and you put a few pounds on, you drink a bit on weekends, and then you eat healthy other times, and it's called a balanced diet, flipping heck.
Balance,
I know,
balance.
can you imagine a balanced diet? Oh my God.
Unbelievable. The thing
Revolutionary.
is, you don't realize that whilst you're trying to lose weight or before you've lost the weight. You just think, I'm going to be on a diet to get rid of it. And then you
Mm.
think, I think I'm still struggling to get out of that, but that's coming. I'm not on a diet all the time. It's not a diet. It's not something I have to do all the time. It's something I have to think about daily. But if I want something, I will have it and I will compensate, or I've built up to it. And like you say, it's a balance. And that once you've lost the weight, it it does feel so much more achievable to have a balance. Whereas before you need to lose the weight, it's I need to lose the weight, I need to lose the weight, I need to lose the weight. But actually it can be done over time with balance, but it's shifting that mindset now. If you're trying to lose weight now, to start that balance now, to start making it more achievable, because otherwise you're always waiting for when I've lost the weight, when I've done, so you can't lose it all in one go. So you're not going to enjoy the next 6 months because you've not lost the weight. That shouldn't happen. It should be more balanced in your approach. Is yeah. And as soon as I realized that then it became like, oh yeah, get this. This is more achievable. This is not such a uh, focus on the numbers and panic every day or stress every day. I've not eaten perfectly. It does become a balance. And as long as, over time, that balance is, getting a negative calorie deficit, calorie deficit, then, you're going to get there. Wherever there is. So you're never there, are you? Until you're in a coffin.
That's true. And you're right, that's why I give so many ear beatings to people about flipping balance. And
Yeah.
what you were saying then reminds me of it's similar practices and principles for success in different areas of life, like you do finances professionally.
Yeah.
It's not dissimilar losing weight to saving money. Like, should you save money? Yes. Do you have to save money all the time? Not really. Should you still spend some of your money and be happy? Yes. Like, should you still order a takeaway sometimes? Like, that's the equivalent of, I don't know, buying some shoes, you can spend a bit here and there. That's a nicer balance. Save
It
some,
is.
but also spend a bit. Come on, let's live a little.
It is definitely, because you can't take it with you. And, so what if you get to the end of your life and you're skinny? If you've not enjoyed it on the way, what's the point?
No rubbish, and you can have everything you want in life. People can watch me if they want to. I am going to go on holiday. I'm going to eat all inclusive. I'm going to overeat at my birthday. I'm going to eat loads at Christmas. I love chocolate. You can watch me order pizza and dessert if you want, and I'm still going to be as slim as possible. It's to be. Watch me. It doesn't have to be one or the other like people think.
It,
I like food, so I just can't be slim. No, you actually just can though. It's
it
just
can.
balance. It's just
You can,
balance.
but I think that there is a thing there that you can, once you get to somewhere where you're comfortable. I think that, and you can do that from day one if you're starting on a weight loss journey. But I don't think I did that. That wasn't mine was, right, let's get to the end and then I can have the balance. It was kind of run million miles an hour for 2 years. And then, in the last 6 months, I've started to breathe and started to enjoy cake again and things like that, but I have not put any on. So I think there is if you've got a lot of weight to lose, there can be that kind of, hell for leather, need to get it off first, which is where people fall down because they go too hard too fast. I think I was just relentless. I didn't let go. I was like a dog with a bone. I needed to get it off to feel better, to get to that goal, to know, right, tick, I've achieved that. And now I can get on with living my life, which is, in hindsight, I could have taken 4 years to do it or 5 years to do it and probably enjoyed it a little bit more on the way. That said, conveniently, we've had a pandemic for the last 12 months. So I've just hidden away and carried on walking and carried on eating the salads and being really, really good. So it's been easy for me, and I know it's not the same for everybody, but it's helped me in a way, just reset the balance of where I can now continue and be on a more even keel rather than all one way or all the other direction. Does that make
It
sense?
it makes perfect sense, and it fulfills me in my soul to hear you say that. Like you can't even imagine. You're such a superstar because this is what I try and get people to do. I understand for motivation and for the changes people want to make. People want to go fast. They want to get the weight loss done. Although I do preach balance, I also don't hold people back from trying as hard as they want to try, which is an interesting balance for me. Like how how aggressive should I, well, like, quote unquote, should I be letting people go forward with the diet, knowing, like you said, that people often do burn themselves out with over enthusiasm? It's like sprinting at the start of a
Yeah,
marathon. You get to
yeah,
mile 10 and then you wonder why you pooped. No one else does. You should have been pacing yourself. But so I have to try and pace people
yeah.
without holding them back from trying their best, which is a little sensitive balance. But when you say you ground it and you worked hard, and you did, you worked really hard and you got all the weight off, and then now you're in this period that we talk a bit more about on the 6 Steps to Slim than maybe other programs do, the maintenance period afterwards, the weight management phase. That's why I often refer to the program as not a fat loss program, but a weight management program. That's literally what I call it because that's what it is. It is about the fat loss. We do focus on the fat loss for people, but it's called the 6 Steps to Slim, not calorie deficit to slim,
No.
is it? Or fat loss to slim. That's not what it's called. There's 6 parts to it, and the other 5 steps to slim are a lot about maintenance. It's about the exercise habits which you've built in, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
about, like you said, salads and healthy eating and fruit and veg and stuff. That's the third step to slim, and it's about all these other all-encompassing factors that they play a small role in the fat loss, but a big role in the weight maintenance at the end. Because, like you said, you had an easy quote unquote time through, not easy, but
No, but
not too
relatively.
much of a struggle through lockdown with the food, but that's because you already had these great habits built in, isn't
Yeah.
it? You just carried on doing what you'd already been doing.
I think what it
Very
was,
nice.
the definition on it is that because lockdown was so monotonous and day in, day out the same thing, actually it made habit building and habit forming quite easy because I
Mm,
wasn't doing something different every day. Whereas normally, pre-lockdown, pre-COVID, my life was quite varied. Some days I'd be leaving in the office, really early in the morning, other days I'd be working at home, other days I'd have to be in Scotland, other days in London. So nothing was ever fixed. Whereas now my day is
mm.
exactly the same in the week anyway. It's pretty much exactly the same, and it means I can fit that routine in. And the more and be consistent in my daily approach to things. So that's why I think I found it easier to build those habits.
That's a lovely advantage to come out of an obstacle there, isn't
Yeah,
it? Or
yeah,
a little good, a little silver lining to come out
yeah.
of a difficult situation. What do you think then in the future? This is just personal for you. What will your job be like going forward? Will it go back to the other way, or will it be a
Oh, yeah.
blend of working at home or?
I think it's going to be a bit of a blend. It's interesting you've asked me that today. I've started arranging lunches, which is what I did before, did a lot of sort of business networking type things. I've started arranging lunches, but I've arranged today, for example, 3 lunches out, which is fine. I can deal with lunches now. And then and I've done another 2 where I've arranged to meet people at 4 o'clock for a walk and then a light evening meal after the walk. So it's slightly different. So it's not just let's sit down, drink a bottle of wine and eat all the beige food. It's let's go and have a walk first,
Beige
feel
food.
good and feel like we're, doing something and having a chat and doing the normal stuff. And then because I've done a walk, it'll focus my mind again that I actually should be eating well. So I think yeah, there is going to be a return to work, but work fantastically, have been absolutely amazing and said do what you're comfortable with. So I haven't actually been to the office yet in over a year now. So they've just said go when you're ready. If you want to, you don't have to go in every day. So I'm just gonna play it by ear. I want to not lose my daily habit of walking every morning. So that's kind of key for me to start my day right.
Interesting. So it might be a nice opportunity for you to create a new balance or
Yeah,
blend
yeah,
of these
definitely.
things. Yeah, that's
Definitely. I think COVID in so many ways, okay, it's been crap, hasn't it? But for me personally, it's actually been something that I needed to, like I said, press reset, reorganize my habits, and then slowly come out the other side. It was like a rebirth. It feels like I'm going back to school soon. Yeah, it feels like that. It's a chance to reset all those bad habits, and a chance to kind of go, well, okay, it's a bad situation, let's try and make something good out of it. And yeah, like you say, maybe there is some other habits there that I can build in. Say with the walking meetings, for example, we've done a couple of those recently. They're good, rather than just all sitting in an office chatting. If there's only 2 or 3 of you having a chat about whatever, let's go out and 20 minutes around the block, let's talk about it then, and everybody get the benefits from it in so many more ways than just being out.
Yeah, I try
So
and
it will
build walk.
change.
Yeah, that's really good. I try and build walking into my daily habit and work habits as well, if possible. Like earlier today, I've had a consultation phone call with a lady who has joined the Six Steps to Slim. She's just literally joined today. Um, and when I have these phone calls, I if I can go out for a walk, literally while I'm talking on the
Yeah,
phone. It's just a phone call, isn't it? It doesn't really matter. Um, it
no,
doesn't,
that's it.
but it's good to
It's
build in, so it doesn't really take time. It's kind of like double leveraging the time.
exactly, it just makes better use of it, doesn't it? No, I completely agree, and it will change even more, I think, over time for me. It's like fast forwarded 10 years using the Zoom meetings, or for work, but it means I'm saving time sitting in a car, traveling, and gives me more time to do other stuff like walking or prepping or whatever. It's much better use. Anyway, that's for me personally. That's not for everybody.
No, it's been different situations for everyone, really, hasn't it? Like one lady in the group on one of the Six Steps to Slim Zoom meetings, she said, we're all in the same storm, but all in different boats. And I thought, oh, that's a nice way
Yeah,
of thinking about it. It's been a hard
exactly.
situation for everybody, but it's
Yeah,
also a
it's the same.
slightly different situation for each person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people
But
found it
yeah,
harder, some people found it easier.
it's different for everyone. Absolutely. I've, in a weird kind of, I don't know, strange way, I've kind of enjoyed it. It's been a chance to just calm down, because I was going hell for leather beforehand. So it's I say calm down. I'm still furiously got steam coming off my keyboard, but it doesn't mean I'm running around everywhere all the time. Yeah.
I
But
understand it's a nice little obstacle into an advantage there. It's nice.
yeah,
It's trying to
definitely.
just make the best out of any situation that you're presented with, really, isn't it? And it's been obviously negative in some ways, but if you can make any positives in any way, that can only be a good thing, can't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think losing the weight, or losing a lot of it before COVID started, um, it's just meant that I felt more positive in my outlook to what can change. I think that's one of the biggest things from losing the weight. I set out to lose the weight because I wanted to feel slimmer and wear smaller clothes. Let's be candid about it. I didn't like the way I looked when I looked in the mirror, but actually the actual benefit of losing the weight isn't how I look, because to be fair, I don't even see it. I can't even see it. It just doesn't register when I look in the mirror. But what has changed is the way that I feel internally, and kicking a football about with the kids, or playing badminton at the weekend, or walking every day, or going out and doing 40-kilometer bike rides. Those things are not a chore. They're not like, oh, I can't be bothered, my fat's going to rub, or it's going to make me out of breath, or I'm not going to enjoy it. No, I want to. Come on, let's do it. I'll do it. I'll start it, and I'll play it with the kids, or I'll go and, arrange the bike ride. But it's just that change of energy, which, I just couldn't, I, I would never have realized before I lost the weight that I was missing that energy, because I didn't know it at the time, but I think I was a lot of the time lethargic, tired all the time, couldn't be bothered. No, I'm not playing football, I'm not playing badminton, I'm not doing any of those things. No, I'm going to watch my program, and I'm going to watch EastEnders or whatever. Giving them up, it's pointless. But in terms of the energy it's given, is the unknown. I can't even describe to you how much energy I have constantly. Ask Paul, my husband, he'll tell you. But it's just like, oh God, will you sit down, stop doing stuff? Because I feel like I'm just alive, more able to do stuff, not lethargic, not tired, not fed up, not drag. Oh, I bounce out of bed now. It's literally get up in the morning, and I'm out. I'm off. I'm doing stuff. I'm ready. and wasn't like that before. If
It's
I'm completely honest with myself, it wasn't like that.
it's literally, physically and metaphorically, though, lifted a weight off of you.
Yeah,
It makes sense why you felt like that before. If you've lost 100 pounds, so if you go to the gym and you pick up one 20 kilogram dumbbell and then you pick up another
yeah,
one in the other hand, then
yeah.
if you had to carry that, would you want to go cycling? I'd say, are you kidding? If you asked me to do
No,
it, I'd say, are you kidding? What do you mean?
no.
That's ridiculous. No, it's
It's
not
like
surprising.
suitcases. It's 2 suitcases for the airport. It's 2 holiday
You're
suitcases of
exactly
20
right. It
kilos
is, yeah.
each, 2 big suitcases and a rucksack.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to use the wheels on them either. You've got to pick it up
No,
and
you've
you've
got
got to
to pick
carry
'em
it.
up.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Would
don't
you
think
want to go for a walk? Would you want to play football?
no,
No, it'd be
no,
so hard to do. But
I'm tired from walking upstairs, no.
exactly. It
Whereas
would be
now,
hard to carry those suitcases upstairs.
it's just that if somebody said to me 2 years ago, "You'll feel like this," I go, "Yeah, well, will I be a size 10? Will I be able to wear this dress?" That would be more my focus at the time. Move 2 years on, and it's like I don't really care what clothes. In fact, I've not really bought any new stuff at all. Friends have given me stuff, and I had a couple of bits, but I'm wearing the same stuff day in day out. I don't care what I'm wearing. I just want to be out doing stuff. I mean, I do care what I'm wearing, but I don't. It's more about the energy that it's given me and the lease of life, which it sounds so corny, but it makes me want to do something every day. I don't want to just go to work, watch telly, go to work, watch telly, go to bed. That's what I was doing a lot of the time beforehand. And I had a nice life, got kids, etc. But now we are just making the most of every moment. And I swear it's because we both lost weight. Husband's lost, he's lost about the same, 98 or something. I was winning at that point. But but between us, that's a lot gone to give us the energy we need to go and do other stuff, to anything. It's so much more exciting. Life is exciting again. I know it's not yet, but it will be.
I completely agree with you, and it does not sound corny whatsoever. It sounds absolutely amazing. Sometimes I wish I could plug people into some kind of virtual reality machine because people come to me often with larger weight loss goals, and they've been either at a higher body weight, or they've been in pain, or they've been tired or lethargic or ill health for so many years or decades they can't even remember what they could feel like or used to feel like, because you don't appreciate it when you're there. When you're 18, you don't think about how you feel. You're just being 18, aren't you? You don't appreciate your health while you've got it, and then it goes away so slowly, and you forget, and you kind of get used to it along the way, and you kind of don't know how you feel. Like you said, you weren't noticing because you couldn't remember feeling any other way than this. So you don't know that you're feeling lethargic. And I wish I could plug people in to a virtual reality and say, yeah, but you could feel like this.
I know.
Like, yeah, and then like they'd feel like they'd taken some unbelievable drug, like their
Exactly.
energy levels are just rocketing, and
Yeah.
like you said, you don't even want to or need to sleep as much, and you
Yeah,
you feel energized in the morning, and everything seems lighter, and things it just
it does.
it's crazy improvements, isn't it?
It is mad improvements, and I think I used to create that energy through alcohol and used to like make myself the life and soul of the party. We've had a few friends over in the last couple of weeks just to sit outside in the garden and in an evening, and I didn't need any. I had one glass on Saturday, but it didn't need the alcohol to make me lively because I'm already like, look, I'm so happy to be alive. It's just the whole I don't sound ridiculous, but it's a whole different, feels like a whole different chapter in my life, completely different chapter, a completely different person to where I was 2 years ago. Completely different.
I love that you say that because, recently a lady said to me, one of my worries about losing weight is I feel like I might also lose my personality along the way. And this lady thought that her bubbly, happy personality was due to her weight. Like you've heard about that stereotypical
Yeah,
correlation, I'm sure, that
yeah,
like overweight people have these like bubbly, happy personalities. And I said the same to the lady. I said, well, I'm not sure. I've only just met you, but probably you're going to feel better, and it's going to be you times two.
yeah,
It's not going to be less of you.
yeah,
It's going to be you as you are now, but with more energy and
yeah,
less worries inside you, and less physical pain and less fatigue, and you won't be as tired.
yeah.
So you'll be
That's,
more of you, not less, in a different way.
that's exactly it. That's it. I used to think that I was bubbly because I was the chunky one, but
Did you
no.
really?
honestly, I can completely relate to that woman.
Okay.
Completely relate to her. People won't find me interesting anymore if I'm not the happy, funny one and the fat one, and or no, it's not like that at all. I feel so much more alive with energy. Energy is the biggest one, biggest thing I can describe this as. It's not about, although it's the clothes, and it's yes, I can go and pick anything I want out of any normal sized shop. I don't have to go to Evans anymore or wherever, and I can pick pretty much whatever I like, and it's going to fit. Now I can actually choose stuff that might suit me, not just buy it just because it fits, which is another thing. But the personality thing, I can completely relate to that lady. Completely. Yeah. It wasn't something that would stop me. If somebody, gave me a magic pill and said, "Do you want to lose this overnight?" I would have absolutely took it. I'm sure a lot of people would, but it wouldn't ever have stopped me trying to lose the weight. But it was there in the back of my mind. Now you've said it,
It's just
definitely.
interesting. It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting to think about the different ways that things affect people.
I think the other way it's affected is through work. I don't know. So I work with some colleagues, and a lot of them I've worked with for a long, long time. I've been at the same firm for 15 years, and they've all remarked, 3 or 4 of them that I work closely with have all remarked in the difference to how I am, I don't know, presenting myself at work, my confidence levels or my self-belief. My knowledge hasn't changed. I mean, it's been updated as we go along, but my self-awareness and self-belief and my ability to now shout out when I don't agree with something, or I've got an idea, and not hide in the background and think, oh, they won't listen to me. Those sorts of feelings, which you can't put a number on, or they've definitely changed. And I'm not going to go into numbers, but in terms of what I've achieved at work in the last 2 years is tenfold to what I did for the 10 years beforehand.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, and it just feels, I believe in myself. If I can do that, like if I can lose £100 and set my mind to every day just having a little bit of time out to try and achieve it, if I can do that, I can do anything. And the same principles apply to everything. And it makes me believe more. So little things like when you were little, you were told you could be anything when you grow up. But in the back of my mind, I thought, no, I can't. There was always a bit of self-doubt there, nothing to do with weight. And I always say the same thing to my kids, and I've always said it, but now I say it and I believe it. You can do anything if you do something every day and change the way that you think about it and the way you behave, and put some work into it, change something, move something, go in a different direction if you don't like what you're currently doing. And I think it's all of it, I swear, all of it has come from the last 2 years from this weight loss. I could cry now, but I do believe that.
That is very powerful, and again, it fulfills my life fully to hear you say that, because that is my favorite thing about what I do, is not only what I do with people, but how it changes them. So yes, people go from where they are to where they want to be, but a lot of people go from where they are to where they never thought they could get to, and then they think what? They surprise themselves. I did that thing. That thing that was plaguing my life, that thing that I've been trying to do for decades, that thing that basically no one can do.
Yeah,
I did it. And
I
then
did
you
it.
think, shit, what else can I do? And I say, you're damn well right. What else can you do? It's anything that you want. Go forth. Go use the same, like the 6 steps to slim. It's built for weight loss, but it's built for success. What do we use for success? We use patience. We use positivity. We use
Yeah,
planning. We use support, don't we? We use
yeah,
community. We use
yeah,
winning and learning, assessing and adjusting, getting through obstacles,
yeah.
consistency, all just principles of success, doesn't it? And then you can take these things that you've learned and that momentum that you've built in these areas and just start blasting through other areas in your life. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've hit it on the head there. It's a system where you're not standing still. You choose to change something and you go ahead and do it and change it, make it happen. And I think doing it in one part of your life, as you've helped me do with this, has helped me do it in so many other parts of my life as well.
I
I
think it's
thought
a, I
I
think
was
it's a yin
happy.
and yang though as well, because
Yeah,
I can see that with with your success in your work career and your professionalism and organization and stuff like this, you can, if you can do that, you can, it works the other way too. It's not like you can do fat loss so you can do anything. If you can be successful at work, you can also be successful at fat loss, because it's the same
Exactly.
principles again. It doesn't only work one way, it works the other way. So you only have to take a little bit of what you do at work, the patience, consistency,
Yeah,
planning, thinking
yeah,
ahead, daily
yeah,
effort, all that kind of bit, and just apply it to the food, and then it'll just start going the same steadily in the same successful direction.
yeah, absolutely. I think up to sort of D-Day, 1st of January 2019, I was successful at work. Had a lovely family life. Everything was fine. It was fine. It was good. It's not like it was awful, like I had to change something. I just wanted to change that weight situation. But by changing that weight situation, it's elevated everything. Everything has got better. Everything. And that, like you say, that principle that you've used, for weight loss, you can use at work or vice versa. I wasn't really using that principle at work. I was maybe by accident, but now I consistently do things every day at work, and I make sure I do them, because that's part of my daily habit building that then changes other things for work. So it all adds up. And it's the same when I tell the kids about their schoolwork, Spanish test coming up. Well, just do half an hour each day. You don't have to do 5 hours now. Do 10 minutes each day. The sooner you start it, sooner you start saving into your pension, the less you have to worry about it when you get older. It's that consistency of each, as sooner you start and how more often you do it, the more successful it will be. Whatever it is. Yeah.
Whatever it is, yeah, small,
Whatever.
little, manageable, achievable steps.
Yeah.
Start now, not when the time's perfect or when the time is right. Just start trying to do something, move a little bit forward, 1%, 0.1%, anything. Little
Yeah.
tiny steps, isn't it? It's better
Yeah.
to move slowly somewhere than quickly nowhere, isn't it? Definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. And none of this I'll start on Monday. Start now. Start today.
I don't know why people think it's
I can
easier to
start
start on Monday. Like
now.
when you're back at work and you've got time constraints and you're probably getting up earlier than you want to. Why does Monday make it easier? Let's be real.
I
Start on a
don't know.
Thursday. What's a random Thursday has got to be easier than a Monday. Kick it
I
off with a bang.
don't exactly. Any day is a good day to start. That's what gets me when people go, "Oh, you've done so well. I'm going to start on Monday." Why do you start now? Well, I don't know. There's no real reason at all. Start now.
Yeah,
Start thinking
humans like to
about it.
compartmentalize time blocks, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, and I'm the worst for it. Absolutely. That's what
It's
happens.
advantageous as well, so maybe you're also the best for it. You've just got to watch for it being advantageous and not disadvantageous, haven't you?
Oh
Not
yeah,
using it as a
it gets to five
procrastination
o'clock on a
tool.
that's it. 5 o'clock on a Friday and it goes out the window a little bit, but that's your balance, isn't it? So there
It's
is
when
there
people will start again on a Monday and it's only a Wednesday.
is
That's when it's an issue.
yeah.
That's when
That's a
it's an
really good
issue.
one. No, that's not good.
Can I
Um,
ask you then,
yeah.
do you have a time limit, by the way, on this conversation?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay. Can I ask you a few specific things about your weight loss journey then, just like a
Yeah,
few specific
sure.
questions?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So the first one that I'd like to ask you is how did you first hear about my program and what caused you to join, if you remember?
I do remember it was another member in the group who she was an acquaintance that I'd met through some mum group or other that I'd met a few years back. And our children had met. I was friends with her on Facebook. She kept posting things about you, and I thought I'll have a look. And then I watched some of your videos on the page, on the public page, and I thought I like this guy. Sounds like he's talking sense. I probably listened to about 5 or 6 videos, and then I got in touch, and then we met up. And I remember thinking, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why am I doing this? This is ridiculous. And I think in my head, the thing that kind of attracted me was that you were a nutritionist, not a dietitian. So it
Okay.
was, and I think I'd got to my heaviest at that point around Christmas 2018, and I was pushing a size 24 at that point, 22, 24. Although people said, "Oh, you carry it well," I was yeah, quite a large size, and I think at that point I was just so desperate to try anything, like something different. I'd done the Slimming World, done all the different diets, Weight Watchers, and what's the other one, the very low calorie one? Can't remember. Lighter Life. slim fast. I tried it myself, tried calorie counting myself, but I was calorie counting 1,000 calories a day. Obviously fell off that wagon very quickly, didn't know how to jump back on. So lots of different ones I tried. And then I saw somebody else's post, a friend's post in the group, and thought, oh, listen to this guy. And then you just started making sense. And I think it was the same time I had used Fitness Pal previously, but I didn't know how to set my calories. And I knew a little bit, but not enough to believe it. I think that was it. You were the belief. I knew some of the facts, but you were the belief that made me kind of go, okay, right, right. I've got somebody who's accountable here. It's going to be your fault if I don't lose weight.
That's cool. I will take that responsibility. That's not bad. I like that one.
I remember meeting you
I'm
and thinking,
ready.
yeah, I don't know, I'll try it, and then I'm going to come back to you if it doesn't work. It'll all be your fault. But I had somebody to blame it on. I think that might have been it, actually. But I thought, no, I'll give it a go. And then we said the 2-week free trial. I thought, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do this. And I think we went to Belfast for a weekend. And I'll start when I get back, I said.
Oh, I remember that actually. I do remember
Yeah,
that for some reason. That just jogged my
yeah.
memory.
Beginning of January we went. So I think it started on the 7th or something of January in 2019. And then I think within 3 or 4 days, my husband could see what I was up to. And he kind of went, who is this guy? Why are you talking to him all the time? What's he saying?
Normal questions, to be fair.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. And then he decided to join in about a week or so later in the background. And then he came to see you, I think, didn't he? Or I can't remember how he joined. But yeah, it was through a friend. And I thought, you were too... when you read stuff or you see stuff and you think, oh, is that real? Oh, it's somebody in America, or it's not real. You were in Sheffield, you were around the corner, and a friend of mine had had come to your meetings and had done some stuff online and it was working for her. I thought, well, it must work then. So there was a sense of belief there, and there was a sense of somebody I could go back and talk to and blame if it didn't work and find out why.
That's good. Social proofing. We like that.
Social proofing, that's the word. Yes, absolutely, social proofing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's really nice and interesting. And I was going to ask you how you were feeling at the time when you joined, but I feel like you've already been through it because you said you were a little bit desperate to get the weight loss, to do the weight loss. You were willing to try anything, were words that you just used as well. Feeling a little bit skeptical over my program, which is understandable. Random bald guy from the internet. You should be skeptical. You should ask questions. This is why I do a consultation phone call, or it used to be in-person meetings, hopefully to be back soon for people who join locally. I used to meet people. I used to literally prefer to meet people for a coffee so that they could see that I'm a real person and I'm not reading from a script. And they can, ask questions, get to know me a little bit. I'll ask them questions because I'm trying to help them. I need to know about their goals. Now I mostly do it on video call or phone calls, but hoping to get back to in-person meetings.
Yeah, both work. I think it's important that there is somebody there that actually, it's not a robot. It's not just an app. It's not just, some celebrity somewhere telling you. Because I'm sure you'd say the same as some other people that you can follow or whatever, but actually being able to talk to you, pick up the phone, send you a message, or join a Zoom meeting, or just put a post online, that I think I can't, since joining the group, you can't describe the power of that group and the positivity within the group to help you through those darker days, those tough times when you're really struggling, not just a day, a week, 2 weeks, whatever. The amount of support in there, and I've said this before within the group, is how much you ask for support, you get support back. Doesn't matter what time of day or night it is, there'll always be somebody within an hour coming back to you. And it's a small enough group that you know the names of people. You may never have met them, but it's a small enough group. It's not just a random person. You feel like you're building relationships within that group. And when we could have meetings, met some fantastic people through that group. And one of my now closest friends is from that group, who's been through the same experience. So, can't put a price on her, but it's just the strength of asking for help, getting help, somebody else asking for help, and by you helping them answer their question, whatever it is, you're actually helping yourself as well. And it's just perpetuating circle of assistance, help, support positivity, even if it's a negative comment, it's still giving you positivity to try and fight that. You know, that for me, I think I completely underestimated it. I've tried explaining it to friends and to family, and they've gone, well, it's just a group on Facebook. It's just, you know, it's not just another group on Facebook at all. It's the first thing I'll check in the morning. It's the last thing I'll check at night. It's actually ingrained into my habits as well, you know, looking at it, and you know, some weeks more involved than others, depending on other stuff, but it's something that cannot underestimate the power of, really.
It's there's something a little bit special about it, isn't it? And I'm surprised at it myself. I'm not sure, because I didn't expect that when I started it. I didn't expect it to become this such a positive and powerful place as it is. And it's not down to me. I'm only one out of 200 and odd people, like you said. So it's not a huge group, but it's not a tiny group either. But there's a lot of people who put a lot of effort and time and support into that, and it is nice at the in-person meetings, which will be coming back later this year most likely. And the Zoom meetings are nice too, aren't we? We have
Yeah,
optional Zoom
yeah,
meetings where it's just like this conversation. We just chat about anything, backwards and forwards, not planned really, but it's nice to meet people, and people are very supportive. If anyone's struggling, or they say, oh hey, I'm really struggling with this thing at the minute, whether it's food related or not, sometimes it's mental health related,
yeah.
sometimes it's life related. There'll be so many people, I can't get a word in. There'll be so many people saying, oh, I could maybe help you in this. Oh, have you thought about this? Oh, I understand. Well, we're really sorry about this. And
Yeah.
people just being so supportive and nice and caring. Really great.
It is really great, and you're right. It's linked. It's not just weight, because weight is linked to so many other things. You don't even realize it. Like we were saying earlier about, you know, energy levels, or your mental health, or how you fit in other stuff in, or work, or planning, and everything is connected to. I mean, the whole thing's connected, isn't it? Your whole life is connected to everything. And something happens, you know, they say, don't they? If something's going really well in one part of your life, something else is going to fall apart. But actually, you can try and keep, you know, what you put in your body and what you do to your body as being the vehicle that you sit in the whole time to do everything else. Well, actually, you need that to be fully functioning. If that's fully functioning, everything else seems a lot easier. It does, even if it isn't, it just feels a lot easier to deal with. Everything that's going on in your head, or at work, or with kids, or family, or whatever. If your body is in good shape, then it just seems so much easier to deal with.
Yeah, I did a podcast with Tracy Viner early from the group
Yeah,
earlier this week. Another excellent weight loss story. That podcast's available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. When we were talking about the gut microbiome, how this affects your happiness hormones, which then affects your mental health, which then affects your choices in your life, and how you
yeah,
see and perceive things, and how you deal with things. Starting in some instances with the food,
yeah.
going into your guts, changing your microbiome, that changes how your body functions, that changes how your brain functions, that changes how you see the world and what
Yeah,
decisions you make. It's like, oh my lord,
it does.
oh my, it's all so linked, isn't it? It's all so
Yeah.
linked. This
And
is why
your skin and your cell replenishment. I mean, how long does it take for your cells to replenish over, you know, it's not long, is it? So actually you are literally what you eat. That, I think once that sank in, I was more conscious of eating really, really good stuff. Okay, and having the treats as well. But I've got the good stuff in as the basics. My foundations are there daily, even
that's the
if I have
power
a
of
Kit Kat.
education. That's really
Yeah.
good. That's really good.
So I always have loads of fruit and veg, even if I have a Kit Kat later. You know, I've got my foundations of what actually my cells are being created from right.
That's
So
so
that,
powerful, isn't it? We've all heard you are what you eat, but you're exactly right. Nearly every cell in your body is replaced every single year. Not
yeah,
all of them, but most of your cells are a brand new one every year. So you are basically what you ate last year. And if you've
yeah.
been making yourself out of doner kebabs, we don't wonder why you feel poops, don't we? We don't wonder why you don't feel the greatest, do we?
They look like brown rags on a stick.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Yeah, or why you're feeling a little bit beige, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not feeling quite as colourful. Here we go. It makes sense. It's all linked,
Does.
isn't it?
But
It's what
people
you
can
put in is
tell
what you
you
get
that,
out.
and until you start it and start doing it and realizing, because it didn't take me long to start feeling like this. to start, I could see the glimmer of this if I go back now, probably 6 months into the journey, not even 3-4 months into the journey. I'd already lost a good chunk and thought, oh, already feel better. But then I had the tools ready to keep going, when normally that's when you'd start to wane a bit and go, oh, I've had enough now, I've lost enough, feel good, stop here, when actually there's another 3, 4, 5 stone to go. You know, that at that point is when you need the support, that's when you need the education, that's when the motivations run out and you need all the other tools to help you push through to the next sort of set of motivation. But yeah, it's you are what you eat, definitely.
Crazy, isn't it?
Mm.
I'm conscious of taking too much of your time as well, but I have got a few more questions I'd just like to
Yeah.
ask you, if that's okay.
Oh.
One was just, in your opinion, how easy or hard or stressful, or how did you find the journey overall, like looking back on it now?
I think I found the first 4 months revolutionary, as
Okay.
in I found them, I can eat what I want within reason. I just need to count it, and then I just need to be a little bit more mindful. And actually the weight flew off because I had a lot to lose. I think a few months after that, I hit a bit of a plateau, was a little bit, no, well, okay, I've done the same as what I always do. Then I had to work quite hard to sort of pull myself, carry on with it. But then that's when the education, I think, had then started to settle in, and it felt reasonably okay. I've had, I'd say 90% of the time over the last 2 years have been good days, feeling positive. Oh, this is great.
Oh,
I'm
that's
good.
really nice.
You know, and there's a few days where, you know, you've seen me in tears. Oh, it's all horrible. It's not going my way. I hate this. It's just rubbish. I can't count calories for the rest of my life. But actually, you know, it's not about counting calories for the rest of your life. I don't count them anymore because, you know, you've said this before yourself. You tend to eat the same stuff. And I do tend to eat the same stuff, especially in the weekend, like I said before, a little bit out the window, but I tend to eat the same stuff in the week. So I know what the calories are. I don't have to bother counting them. I know what a day looks
That's the
like.
freedom of education. Calorie
Yeah,
counting is just a stage that people go through.
yeah.
You're exactly right.
Exactly. So, and then I've let go of the guilt. If I want a Kit Kat, and do you know what? I've always got a couple of extra 100 calories, so I will use them up when I want to use them. I think the feeling along the way, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking back through rose tinted glasses because I'm just delighted to be where I am. But I think most of the time I've just pushed through. I've pushed through, and it's not hard if you know how. There are hard days where you fight your internal battles, and I'm gonna have that piece of cake. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Okay, those days you just got to have the cake because you'd be fighting. It's just not fun. Yeah, but there are other days where you're stronger, and most of the time I felt stronger and said, well, I don't need the cake. I think it went up and down through the month as well. We've talked about that in the past, and you know, hormonal cycles and when that affects you. But I think if you're aware of it, I feel like I know my body better, and I know the trigger points, and I know when I've got to be careful. And changing the food environment around me, changing what I eat, changing what I perceive as good or bad, and not perceiving anything as good or bad. It's got a calorie number attached to it. I think, yeah, to answer the question, I'd say 90% I found it relatively easy because they're rules, not rules. They are guidelines to follow, and they are things to incorporate. But I have to say, I did go in initially, right, I'm going to do every single step. I'm going to take every single step and do all of it. And for the first, like I say, 4 to 6 months, I took every single step. I remember checking in every day. This is my fruit and veg. This is my water. This is my calories. This is my steps. Quite exhausting. Whereas then you start to concentrate on some things and start to build them in as you're feeling strong in one area or not as strong in another area. That's when it started to become habit. And I think the last year I found very straightforward. But I suppose it's just, yeah, after 6 months, 4 to 6 months, that's when I had a little bit of a struggle period. But the last year or so, I found it very straightforward because it's clicked. I've got it. That's what I do now. That's
That's
it.
so lovely to hear. That's so lovely to hear. And I feel like you might have already answered this question a little bit, but
Okay, I can't
what
too much, sorry.
No, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I wanted
Go
to ask what tools, or maybe tools is not the right word, or tactics or things have helped you the most, you feel, along your journey. Like I know you've said the community helped you
yeah.
a little bit, but what do you think were some of the
I
positive tools you've used
I think the vegetable one for me is a big one. I've always
out
liked
of the
veg.
6 steps to slim? You mean the third
Yeah,
step about,
yeah.
okay, interesting. Yeah.
Vegetables are very interesting because I've always liked vegetables, but it's always been like a side thought. Oh, I'll just put a bit of broccoli with that. Whereas now broccoli will be the base. What am I having with it? So it's the either the food,
Very
the meal
interesting.
structure with the vegetables, because I know I can eat loads of broccoli and I can eat twice as much again and it doesn't matter. It's negligible. But that's been one big thing. The walking has been big for me as well. I always thought I had
Mm.
to run. Before I started this, I was trying to do 5Ks on park run, and I was doing them, and I was getting better. But I hated it. Hated it. Hated every second of running. Don't run now. Don't like running. I've decided I don't want to run. Don't have to run. As long as I walk,
You
that's
found you
fine.
like cycling, haven't you?
Yeah, but I like walking. I do like walking, and I like not just the physical one step in front of the other, but the clear head, come back, fresh start, day's ready, got my 10,000 steps done before 9 o'clock in the morning. I've done a tick, that's one box done. And I think if you do that more regularly, with the same with the vegetables, same with the walking, water quite a lot as well. I've been drinking a lot of water just to make sure that I've got a regulation of water in my body. Try and do that as much as I can. The protein one, not used so much. It's something that happens by default. I do eat protein, but I do anyway. It's not something I've ever really counted. I know there's like one of my friends really big on counting her protein. Yes, it's a thing, but if I don't want protein, I don't want it. I want to eat what I want to eat, and it's the numbers. Calorie counting obviously is the biggest one. I can't even think of the others. What are they now? Walking, exercise, vegetable, protein, water, well, liquid.
Snacking's the only one you've missed. Snacking and psychology. Amazing answer. I didn't expect you to go that way with your answer to the question. And I didn't expect you to either to remember the actual 6 steps to slim in order in the process. That's flipping great. Well done. That's really, really good there.
It's a cult. Don't join.
It's brainwashing.
No,
Brainwashing for sure.
it sounds like you expect me to go down the walking route, weren't you?
Um, I don't know. I just wondered what things have helped you along the way. Like I know you said the community.
Yeah,
I thought you might say like the calorie counting. You said the food education earlier on the
education.
call. Yeah,
The
education's a
biggest,
big
the biggest
aspect.
thing with education right from the start, because it was like, I just have to reduce it by this much, and that's what I'm supposed to eat, and then
That's why
I'll
I thought you were going to say the calorie counting because I know you
that
said
that
revolutionary earlier, and
yeah,
it was
that was
around that area, wasn't it?
that was it. That for me, day one was like mouth open, catching flies. Well, why has no one ever told me this?
Mm.
Why can't? Huh? Really? Is that all it is? Is
Or if
that
they
it?
have, but they've just not explained it properly or simply enough.
Yeah, it was just, well, that's straightforward then. It's 500 calories deficit every day. I'm on my way. I don't need you. And I almost thought I'm going to try this on my own and I'll just crack on with it. I think I did think that at the time. But then the community was there, and actually it was really nice, and I enjoyed it, and it made me focus and kept me mindful and listen to all the lectures, and that was great. But yeah, the revolutionary bit was that, oh, really? It's 3,500 calories. And I need how many? Oh, okay. It was just, it was, yeah,
As a
that,
financial planner, the numbers must be pleasing
yeah,
for you as well, mustn't
yeah,
it?
it
It
was.
must have suited.
Do you remember right at the beginning? I sent you a thing, I think, not right at the beginning, sort of a few months in, and I'd gone, look, £2 every week, £2 every week. And it's gone down consistently the same every week. And like, why is everybody not losing £2 every week? This is so easy. If I carry on doing this, this, and this, I will lose this much by this point. And I had it planned out, because that's my job as a financial planner. I had it planned out and targeted. I knew by the end of last year I will have lost it. That was my plan. That was the plan. And okay, it wasn't rigidly stuck to, but generally I knew if I could carry on and do that amount, it would happen. And it was happening. And it was It was like, wow, why has no one ever told me this before? It makes me angry, actually. Why has nobody ever told me this before? And I've spent all these years wasted in a chunky body that I could have been a lot slimmer in, and helping myself feel better.
It annoys
It's
me a little bit as well that people have to happen across me randomly on the internet to find out how to flipping lose weight healthily and properly, and how to actually do it for yourself and understand things. It's like people have been to school, they've been to the doctors, they've been to the dietitians, you've been to 59 other programs.
yeah,
Why? I just don't even
I
know
don't
why.
know. Yeah.
Yes,
The
I know.
doctor, I remember the doctor once saying, you just need to, eat less calories. Okay. What am I going to do with that information? I'll eat one less Kit Kat a day. I keep saying Kit Kat, it's in my head at the minute, but one less whatever a day. But there's no explanation as to, it's the consistency that is required over a period of time. Used to have a little graph where I ticked off every day that I'd been under, and some, the odd day or whatever had been over. But if you look at the graph over a month, or the chart over a month, you'd see lots of green ticks and the odd red cross.
That's a powerful tool,
It's
visualization of
huge.
success, isn't
Yeah,
it? Very good.
it is. It's not just concentrate on
Very
that
good.
one Saturday where you ate too much. Let's
Oh, I'm
look at
such a
the
bad
whole month.
person because you screwed it up once.
Yeah,
You had 28 good days or whatever, only 3 bad. Great.
exactly. So I try now and have, 6 days where I eat maintenance or under, and then I'll have one day where I won't even look at the calories. And if I want it, I'll have it. But it's kind of, it's not even as rigid as that anymore. It has developed into a balance, which you can't get on day one. It has to be something you build into yourself slowly but surely. It's like now nothing is enough in terms of cycling and walking. It's just the time in the day. I haven't got enough time in the day to do as much as I want to do now. Madness. I used to go for a walk maybe twice a week for 20 minutes before this.
It would have
Now,
been a struggle, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would have been a struggle. It would have been an effort.
Mm.
Got to go out and I need some fresh air. I've got colleagues that they say, been out this morning. I go, yeah, been out this morning. They go, I haven't left the house since Sunday. What? How could you have not left the house for a walk, even 10 minutes? That must mess with your head. And I think, and I'm not judging anybody else who hasn't been out the house since Sunday. It's just get out the house, go for a walk.
If you can, it's good for your mental health to change scenery, isn't it? Get fresh air, hear the birds chirping, feel the sun on your skin. It lets you
You
know the
don't
world's
realise
still
until you're
moving.
out.
Oh, I know.
You don't realise. I've said it to Carl, my husband, a few times, and said, "Go on, just go for a walk with you. Get out, just go. You're in a bad mood." Comes back, yeah, I didn't realise that. I didn't know I needed that. And he does it to me. Oh God, witching hour. Get out the house. You're not being fed yet. Get out and go and do
You're not
something.
being fed yet.
Yeah, I'm like tearing my hair out waiting for food. He does the cooking, thankfully. But yeah, it's just time to go and calm down and use some energy and create some energy, because it does give you more energy going for a walk.
Mm.
Does that answer your question? I can't remember what it was.
No, it does. It does. Thank you. And I wanted to say about when you said about the education, like the doctors might have said about calories, but it's like our education system on the 6 steps to slim. It's not really about this is a calorie, this is a carbohydrate, that kind of thing. It's more like practical application of, yes, there's a little bit of, like you said, numbers. It's this many calories, your metabolism's roughly this fast, you have to lose this many calories to get rid of a pound and a stone, and because that's just like background information, but
No, but that's
mostly
key. That's the key bit, though, Connor.
it's the fundamentals. Yeah, it's the base of it.
Fundamentals. If you understand that, if you're an analytical person, as I am, and a lot of people are, like people who like to save and put this much away, or like we said, the consistency, those fundamentals are absolutely key to then believing you can do it.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true.
If you don't believe you can do it, you're following it aimlessly. Well, where's the target? Where's the goal? Where's the achieve? There's no way of knowing. Whereas with this, when the scales don't move and you've eaten 500 calories under every day for a week, you just got to wait a bit longer. Keep doing it. If the scales haven't moved, it doesn't matter. You've put the input in, the output will come. So it's the same as with work. So certain things I have to do on a daily basis, and sometimes it comes off and sometimes it doesn't, and it takes time. If you do it every day, at some point it will happen because you've done it every day.
And that's about the practical application of the knowledge, isn't it? Which is the other half of it.
Yeah, but you need to have that knowledge in the first place. If you don't have it, which I didn't, then how would you know to eat less calories? Well, how many less calories? For how long? What do you mean? It doesn't make sense until you know the actual numbers. And for me, that was really, really important to be able to believe that I can then go away and do that.
It's crazy as well to me that I'm one of the only people in programs where I teach people and work out for people roughly how fast their metabolism is. Because everybody goes around saying they've got fast and slow metabolisms, but if you ask pretty much any of the members of the 6 Steps to Slim, what their calorie maintenance level is, also that, AKA synonymous with how fast is your metabolism, they'll tell you. They'll just say, "Oh, mine's this." Because
Yeah,
why have you had to go through 59 programs and you still don't know what's going on with your own metabolism? This makes no sense, does it? So it's powerful education at the beginning.
it doesn't make
Um,
it's huge, that education piece, definitely.
I've just got one more question for you then, and this is just your personal opinion. If you had any advice or tips for anybody else trying to either they're thinking about losing weight or maybe they are losing weight, if you had advice for people in your opinion, what would be Jenny's advice for
Oh my goodness.
successful weight loss?
Oh, biggest bits of advice. For me, it's oh, look at the scales, but don't look at the scales.
Interesting. Okay.
Weigh yourself every day, but ignore them if they're being bad. But wait, but track it. It's a big thing for me that I think you need to know where you're at, but you also need to ignore it if it's not saying what you think it should say, which then brings you on the consistency, which is if you've had a bad day, just get back on your horse and just get on with it. You know, it's not going to, one piece of cake is not going to change your life. Um, Pizza doesn't make you fat. One pizza doesn't make you fat, and one salad doesn't make you thin. You told me that.
I know it sounds like a quote from me. I was just about to say.
It is. It is definitely a quote from you. I think. I think trust and believe in the education. So listen to the lectures. Understand. You know, take some time to invest in yourself and give it some time. You shouldn't be the afterthought in terms of what food you eat. And you know, if you're rushing because you've got other stuff on and you lead a busy life, what you put in your body shouldn't be an afterthought. It should be, you know, fundamental in you know, give yourself the time to do it right, and don't rush it. Don't rush it. Take your time. I legged it and nearly fell flat on my face, but it came out the other end of it. But I would really say take breaks. There is no prize when you get to the end, so take the breaks that you need. Take the breaks that you need along the way. You know,
It's not
sit
who
at
gets there
the
fastest wins, is it?
no, it's how you feeling today. You know, if you're feeling good and you want to go out for a nice lunch and enjoy it, then go and enjoy it. Enjoy your life as well. Life is too short to be on a diet permanently. This isn't about a diet. This is just a shift in how you think about food and what's important to you. It's not the taste, that one bite of chocolate. It's actually, can you run around with a football with your kids, or whatever it is you want to do. It's how do you feel, as well as how do you look, and what does the scale say. I think yeah, that's pretty much for me what I would tell anybody. But if anyone was thinking about it, should I or should I not join the program, in and ahhing, oh, can I afford it, do I do it, what a waste of time, is it a waste of time, it's just a group of people, what a load of rubbish. It's absolutely fundamental to doing it right. And I wish, and I've said this to a number of people, I wish I'd found you many years ago, but then you wouldn't have necessarily been doing it. But it's I wish I'd found you when I was 20, not when I was 43. You know, it's a shame, but I am 100% an advocate of this program and will be forever, because it's changed my life completely. It's changed my family's life completely. Not just me, my husband, because he's joined in with me. My kids get it now. My kids see me differently. My youngest doesn't really, because she's only 8, doesn't really remember me being any bigger now. It's kind of gone past that age. So
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
it's fantastic. Yeah, I don't embarrass her. Well, I do, but I feel like I can be proud of who I am and what, in the vehicle that I'm sitting in, rather than hiding behind things and embarrassed a lot of the time, or lethargic all the time. Yeah, yeah, can't say anything more. You
Thank
are
you.
my godsend. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That was really nice. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your trust. I appreciate the effort you put in. Because when people come to see me, sometimes they think they're joining a fat loss program, which they are kind of. I think that you are entrusting your health and happiness and the future of these things in me. And I
Yeah,
take that seriously. So when people trust what I say, I'm careful about what I say, literally, and I do
yeah.
my best to help people as much as I can. So I appreciate the people who come to see me and put their time and trust into me to try and do these positive things. And it literally brings as much positivity to my life to help you and do these things and help these people as it does for you, literally. So
Brilliant.
it's a yin and yang back and forwards thing, isn't
It
it?
is, definitely. I think there's if people are thinking about it, and they, like you say, they think of it as a fat loss program, which it is at the end of the day, but there is so much more, which you don't realize when you first join, and there's no way you can convey that to someone who's just thinking about losing the fat at the beginning. Because that is all that's all that you think about at the beginning. I just want to lose this weight. I want to get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off. I don't, yeah, all these nice things you're saying, lovely, but I just want to lose the weight. That's all you think about, and the other stuff comes as it goes along. I think the other thing, that one other tip I would give, and I've omitted to say it, is get the support of your family and your friends. For me, my husband, who will probably listen to this afterwards, he has been fundamental in making sure that I'm on the right track, because we're both on the right track. We both talk about it. He's also in the group, friends that are also in the group that you see outside of the group, fundamental in keeping the conversation going, keeping the focus, keeping that mindset. And for him, he's been so helpful because he's cooked for me, and he's calorie counting everything and changed the food environment, like I said. So, get the support of your partner if you're with somebody that will help you through that. Because I don't think I could have done it without him either, to be fair.
No, I agree. It's invaluable, isn't it? The people around you affect the way that you feel and what you do. So if you can get the support of work colleagues, friends, family, partners, children, talk to them about what changes you're trying to make and why you're trying to make these positive changes for the health and happiness and good and betterment and future of all of us together as a family, etc., and people who love each other, then they'll understand and then they'll support you. Then you'll all be able to move forward better as a team. Completely
Definitely.
agree.
Definitely. Oh,
Thank you
nice.
so much, Jenny.
No, thank you. It's been really lovely talking to you. I will, anybody that's in the group, I'll put the announcement for next Thursday. Is it Thursday?
For our
Yeah.
webinar next week, yes,
Yeah.
it's 4 o'clock next
4 o'clock
Thursday,
next
isn't it? I don't know
Thursday.
exactly what date that is offhand.
No, I don't either, but I'll put it in the group if anybody's in the group listening.
I'll put it on the Facebook page as well. I'll put it on the Slum Society Facebook page. So if you're a listener of this podcast but not a follower of the Slum Society Facebook page, then go to there. Or they can follow you on LinkedIn, can't they? Or you can follow me on LinkedIn, Connor Rhodes. You can follow Jenny Whitehouse on LinkedIn. You'll be able to find links to it there.
If you follow me, you'll just get finance stuff mostly though. So just warning you.
Who doesn't want more money? Come on, let's give it a follow. Who doesn't need more cash?
Oh yeah, if only I could print it. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. And again, it's just refocused me. So I'm going to go and have a nice tuna salad for lunch for a change.
Lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jenny. And thank you for listening, everyone.
See you soon, Connor. Bye.